segment's being sponsored by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Join us in preserving and protecting Tennessee's wildlife.
When we're out hunting or fishing, just being in the outdoors, some of our greatest times are centered around being with friends. Some of my greatest memories aren't about that big buck that I killed or how many fish that I caught. It's about being with my friends. And in Scripture, in Mark chapter 2, Jesus tells a story about a group of friends. One of them was paralyzed. So the 4 other friends decided that they wanted to take him to Jesus. So they put him on a stretcher, each one grabbed a corner, and they began their journey to Jesus. But when they got to him, it was so crowded that they couldn't get their friend in there to him. So they went to the roof. They broke open the roof and lowered him down to Jesus without dropping him. And then the next thing that Jesus did was encouraging, but also convicting. He looked at the paralyzed man and said, because of their faith, your sins are forgiven. And later he healed him of his paralysis. Jesus said, because of their faith, the faith of the friends. How faithful of a friend are you? So my challenge for us all this week is this: be a good friend. You know, the greatest thing about being a good friend is that you always gain a good friend. Hey, thanks for watching. Our prayers are with you. Hope that you are blessed today, and always remember, keep shooting straight.
All right, guys, this next segment's being sponsored by Taylor's Archery. You guys can find them at 100 East Lauderdale Street in Tullahoma, Tennessee, or give owner Tracy Taylor a call at 931-563-7706. They have got the brand new 2021 lineup of Bowtechs, Hoyts, Matthews. They can take care of all your archery needs. Stay around and shoot a few rounds in their beautiful indoor range while you're at it. Tell them thank you for everything they do for us here at the show. All right, welcome back to the studio. You guys can go ahead and call in if you'd like to, 615-737-7767. But until then, JD, we're going to start picking your brain a little bit about this competition. I mean, the first time I ever heard about it, it was very intriguing to me. You know, Anthony and I are both the big-time deer guys. Everybody knows that. And, you know, again, I've always been around the bass tournament world and crappie tournaments Anthony's been involved in, but this is brand new, man. I mean, tell us just a little bit about the competition itself and kind of how it was started and what's going on with it.
Yeah, well, it's a state-specific competition. So you're competing just against people in your own region of the United States. And you're basically going out there harvesting an animal just like you would, except in order to maintain integrity of the competition, protect the resource, and make sure people aren't incentivized to harvest animals unethically. We require everybody to video their harvest. And when you sign up, when you pay your entry fee, we send you out a buck bash box right here. It's got everything you need to compete. It's got a 4K digital camera in it, SD card, battery charger, antler measuring tape, the whole works.
Everything you need. I mean, it's right there in one box, and that'll get you started. And you mentioned that it was regional, you know, region specific. So there is a Tennessee.
So it's really state specific, right?
State specific.
State specific.
So,
okay.
So in the state of Tennessee, you guys will be competing against others in the state of Tennessee. I mean, it's not like you're going to be competing against the guys over in Illinois or whatever, for example. But also, this is not a biggest deer wins kind of deal either necessarily. I mean, there are multiple categories is my point.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, we our top prizes for the largest scoring deer.
How many places does that pay? Like top 10 or?
We have a top 10, and then we pay out in our full model, we pay out over 150 places. So we would pay out down to 140th place, and then we have special harvest categories, we call them, where if you happen to land on 1,000th place on the leaderboard, you'd win $10,000.
Okay.
How cool is that?
Yeah, that's why a lot of fishing tournaments, you know, they've gone to that. It's kind of like an incentive thing to just I
sign
guess,
up and be there.
And then to check in, you know, like, you know.
Absolutely. And then, for example, anyone who harvests a 10-point animal, no matter if it's 92 inches or 160, gets entered into a random drawing for a new truck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is a big deal. It is a super awesome competition. Again, I was intrigued from day one. I'm so excited to be working with y'all on this. I mean, again, as soon as I told Anthony about it, he was like, "What? What'd you say?" And I was kind of explaining it to him. But it's going to be a great deal. We're really excited about doing this and moving forward working with you guys.
When do you start taking entry fees? Or when does it open up, I guess you'd say?
So the way it works is right now you can reserve a spot in up to 20 states, and then we will open up when a state has enough participation interest or reservations, if you will. In around August 1st to September 1st is our sign-up period, where we'll open up sales, and people who reserve now will save $25. They'll get a promo code sent to them, and they'll get their spot reserved. For
How do
the
you
competition.
reserve now?
You go to the website apexcompetitions.com.
apexcompetition.com. Okay.
Competitions with an S.com,
Okay.
and you'll choose your state, and then it works from there based off the state that you want to participate in.
We got a couple of calls here, guys. Let's switch over and take. We got somebody on one. Take that back. Here we go. Duck, my dear, how you doing tonight?
Hey, what's going on there, Brandon?
Hey, he told me Duck
man.
was on the phone. I knew it had to be you, man.
I could tell the way you was acting. I said, I bet you that's Mataroo.
You know, look, I'm actually calling with a question because I have a high concern about this fishing segment. Y'all talking about the fishing and all that. What does it mean when you're fishing with your good buddy and he hands you a bait and like the tail is broke on it, or maybe the jig ain't the same size as he's using, and you just ain't catching the fish he is? What does that mean? Can y'all help me out with that? I mean,
It usually means you're fishing with Anthony Landreth.
but you know what I'm trying to say? I mean, sometimes he gives it to me, ain't no tail on it, be different color. And then he'll be like, let me tie it on there for you.
Yeah.
And the fish take the
Make
whole
sure you
thing
got
off. I don't know what.
Make sure you got a 1/4-ounce jig on yours, and he's got a 16th or something.
Yeah, I give him an 8th and I have a 16th. He won't know the
He got me
difference.
out there getting hung up on everything, man. Look, I feel like I'm tight lining sometimes when I'm fishing with him.
Hey, man, you ready to do some turkey hunting? I hear you guys fixing to get going. You heading back to Tennessee soon, ain't you?
I am leaving Texas tomorrow morning, heading to Louisiana. I'm going to spend the night with my mom and hopefully be back in Tennessee by no later than Saturday evening at the earliest. And look, I am ready, bro. Look, them turkeys don't know what they got coming this year.
Yeah, I tell you what.
If I got a job when it starts, I'm liable to quit till to the end of turkey season. I'm not lying.
Doug, I think you quit your job in deer season too, didn't you?
He did.
Well, I didn't want to say it on TV. I'll go ahead and quit. Y'all know I don't care.
Oh, me. Well, Duck, we appreciate you calling, man, and look forward to having you back on the show again here soon.
Can't wait, Brandon. Hope to see y'all soon, man. And you tell Anthony I said be careful going home tonight.
All right, Doug. Thanks,
right.
brother. See
Have a
you.
good one.
We'll see y'all. Bye-bye.
Raymond, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Doing good. We appreciate you calling. How can we help you tonight?
When you I'm turning 65 later on this year. Can I get my senior license now?
I don't know if you can do it before you're actually
I don't
65 or
think
not,
you
but I
can.
don't believe so. I think you'd have to wait until you were 65.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I understand why you're asking that, because it's time to
Yes.
get your license now, but I do believe you would have to actually be 65 before you can get it.
Okay.
You
And
can-
another question, my mailbox is kind of messed up. I wonder if you could fix it like I seen you on TV fixing them others.
Well, I tell you, that's a special service reserved for my parents' house only. There, I don't just go out fixing for everybody, you know. But we can put one back up when we have to.
All right, you have a good one, and I'll talk to y'all later.
Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.
You too.
All right, guys, a couple good calls there. I always look forward to hearing from Doug.
Oh, man. I am so looking forward to it. Him being home.
Well, let's go on over to this week's tip of the week, guys. This week's tip of the week is being sponsored by Phoenix Custom Quality Rods. Y'all can check them out at phoenixrods.com or here in the state of Tennessee. Call Mr. Jim Brewer at 931-213-1455 and let him get a Phoenix rod in your hands today. All right, what you got for us over, Anthony?
Well, everybody knows turkey season is it's coming up about 23 days,
Yeah,
I guess.
you got
for
a youth hunter
for
quicker
the
than that.
juveniles. That's
Yeah.
right. So one tip I was going to say, right now is a good time, you know, to ride around. If you know where you're going to hunt, you know, maybe start getting up, especially some of these warm mornings. Try to pinpoint where they are, but you know, a lot of people move in on them and they kind of mess them up. You know, kind of like, I guess, scout them from afar, and then you know, once you do that, and then closer it gets to season, you'll be able to go in there, maybe sneak in there, set you up a blind, and you'll be able to bust one. Your chances are pretty good.
That's right. Just don't push them too much right now.
That's right.
And hey, they tell you where they are. It's different than deer, you know.
Yes, and a lot of people too, Brandon, and of course in a lot of states it's illegal, but they go out and they call this time of year to try to get them. I mean, and I understand why they do it, but in the long run, they're probably hurting themselves doing that.
Yeah, that's right. Well, good tip, Anthony. Appreciate that. Guys, we're going to get ready to take another quick break, and we'll be back here in just a minute with some more Southern Woods and Waters.